Okay, today's video is about the HTC Incredible and a unidentified battery issue that has to do with both peculiar charging characteristics and peculiar or battery discharge characteristics that just don't quite seem right. You can see that I've had my phone on standby. It's been turned on. Even though the screen is blank, it is actually in the standby mode, and it's been on charge all night. And the little indicator right here is indicating green, telling us that the phone is fully charged. Over here you can see on the current meter that actually 0 milliamps are going into the phone right now. I have uh, a cut splice in the USB charger line running through this meter so I can monitor the amount of current that's going into the HTC Incredible phone. So right now we have a green light which indicates that the phone is at 100% charge. If I turn the phone on right here, you can see with the little program that I have running up here in the tray that we have 100% charge. And also if I go down here to battery graph, you can see that we have currently, let me make a little switch here, you can see that we have 100% charge over here. And yeah, it went up and down because I've been playing with it just a little bit this morning. I'll zoom in on that for you so that you can have a little closer look. But there's where it was when I got out of bed this morning, and then of course just a little bit of disconnecting and reconnecting the charger to see what happens. Let's go back to the home screen. Do take a note that over here we still have zero current going into the phone. Now, something I noticed this morning when I started messing with my charger as I got out of bed, I turned the phone clear off because I wanted to do a reboot and stop any unnecessary services from running in the background. Some folks have said that that sometimes makes a difference in how long your battery will last. If you just shut your phone clear off and then reboot it right back up, it'll kill some services that were running but don't need to be running now in the background, so your battery will last longer during the day. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to turn the phone completely off. We're going to power it clear off and let it shut all the way down. You can see it shutting down right now. It's powering off down here. That's quite clear to you. And it's about to shut off. Now keep an eye on that light up there. It's green right now and it just went out. And also you'll notice that the meter over here for a moment showed some current flowing. Now it's not, but the light has turned back to orange saying that it's charging. Now the meter is showing again suddenly that we're charging with around 400 milliamps. You, as you did see and witness earlier, I made no changes except to turn the phone off. It did say it was fully charged. Why does it say now that it's not fully charged? Just because I turned it off and it's taking in roughly 400 milliamps. That's a question that we need to find an answer to. Does that mean that if you turn your phone off it'll charge more, or does it mean if you just keep unplugging the phone right here at the connector 15 times after it reaches a full charge that eventually it'll keep recycling and forcing the charge to come back? We'll do a few more experiments here. Let's go ahead and turn the phone back on. Mind you, current is still flowing into the battery of the phone. This meter indicates that. And at this point in time the phone is still on charge. You can see the orange lamp right in here. It may be hard to see with some of the reflection in the room, but the orange lamp is still illuminated right there. Let's turn the phone back on, boot it back up. Alright, the phone's booting back up. We have zero current on the meter right now. Funny thing is that it came back to a full charge, and of course we have no indication up here, green or orange, whether it's charging or not charging. No indication at this moment, and that might not be too unusual in a boot up process. It's still going through the boot up process, and all of a sudden now it is taking half an amp to charge right now during the boot up process. The light has turned green up here, indicating that the phone is fully charged. It's still booting up. It's preparing the SD card and preparing the phone settings up here. We still have a half an amp going into it, even though it's green and it says it's fully charged, but I think that that's going to go away in just a second here. from playing with it earlier this morning. Those are the kind of symptoms or results I saw. Now watch this display on the screen. It's too bad it didn't come up. If I would have had this down, you would have seen a message that says battery is fully charged, please disconnect. There was a vibration there. I don't know if you heard the phone vibrate. Sometimes I hear that same message with a voice out of the phone, and I can't seem to explain where that's coming from. Right now we have a green indicator over here saying the battery is fully charged. Over here we have an indication that it's 100% charged. If we look at battery graph, the little program, you can see that it is probably fully charged, and it is. Over here you can see it's fully charged. And then now all of a sudden the current meter has dropped to 0 again. Okay, so one question that I throw out there that we need to research further is when the phone is turned on, is a different software, firmware controlling the charging circuitry, and then is when the phone turned off, is that a sort of like in PCs where we think of the BIOS as taking over the charging circuitry? Is that what's happening? So is there two different ways to sense the state of charge in the battery and to decide whether or not to even charge the battery? It does seem funny that when the state of charge changes from yes it's charging or no it's not, you don't just see it taper down from half an amp or a quarter amp to 0 very slowly. You see it abruptly go from, say, a half an amp to 0. That seems like if you're measuring voltage and current inside of a battery that you would not consider that fully charged when you're still putting in that much current. You would expect the current to drop down and the voltage to stay constant, and then make a determination that, okay, now this battery is fully charged. Let's do a little experiment right now. Let's pull the charger off the side of the phone over here, which of course at that point in time we are not going to have any kind of a charge over here because there is no current able to flow because this connector is disconnected. In a minute here, we'll wait, not even a minute, we'll just wait a few seconds and we'll plug it back in. Of course the charger up here still says 100% charged. We have no light, but that's normal because we have the connector not plugged in down here. And we of course have no current flowing. Let's plug the phone back in again and see if we have any current flowing or not, even though the phone says that it's 100% charged. Yeah, look at that. Suddenly we have a half an amp of current flowing into the phone. We have a green light here saying that I am already fully charged, and we have an indication over here that says we're 100% charged. And in just a minute we'll see if this goes back to 0 current. So just give it a second here. Again, just to recap, we have a green light right here. We do have an indication of 100% charge right here in the little tray, and over here we're still charging with a half an amp of current. That's quite a bit of current considering this device only accepts up to 1000 milliamps, 1 amp, when it's fully discharged at the most, and if the temperatures are cool enough the charging circuit will allow only up to 1 amp. There, now you see it abruptly drop to 0 current. Now let's go back to what we did in the beginning of this test, and then we probably will conclude. Let's turn the unit completely off now and power off, have it go shut clear down, and then what we're going to be looking for is the status, the state of the light to change right here, and we're going to be watching the current. We have a green light here, 0 current over here. It says it's powering off there. It kind of almost has. These lights are still on. Now those lights are off. We've got an orange light that's come on. We're showing 0 current, but I think that's going to change in just a moment. There we go. We'll see we're up to 0.42, 0.36, 0.40. Well, you can see it in the meter. We still have an orange light down here that says the phone is charging, and it's charging with quite a bit of current if you take a look at it. I'm going to let it run for another few seconds because we're almost at our 10-minute limit here, but in fact I can only let it run for about 15 more seconds, and this current here is dropping a little bit but not too much. Maybe I'll continue this in the next video.